We've taken every Power 5 conference schedule, including Notre Dame, BYU, and Army, and thrown it through the Mark Rogers TV shredder. 9-step process to evaluating these schedules and ranking them 67 all the way up to number 1. Check out our rankings from last year. You might have a good time seeing where we totally missed it and misevaluated some schedules. Hey, our process is not perfect. It's a solid system, not perfect. The reason I say that is because I was just giving Virginia all sorts of accolades last season for scheduling tough out-of-conference games. UCLA, Notre Dame, Boise State. Of course, because of the ACC Notre Dame contract, Virginia had nothing to do with scheduling that game, but the Cavaliers still went out and they scheduled Boise State and UCLA along with the Irish. Tough schedule, and it probably knocked them out of postseason play with 5 wins as opposed to a North Carolina State who's no better than Virginia the last couple of years, but they took a soft cupcake 4-game non-conference approach and got to postseason play. So how did the Cavaliers stack up this year? Well, they've got the 11th most difficult schedule in the ACC, or the 5th easiest schedule in the ACC. You could look at it that way as well. Okay, they've got the date at Oregon in week 2. That's the tough non-conference game. The other 3, very manageable. Richmond at UConn, as the Huskies take on both Virginia and BC out of the ACC. Central Michigan is game number 4. So the Cavaliers could be 3-1 heading into October. Of course, in the ACC, you got 14 teams. You've got 7 in your division. You play every one. Then you only play 2 in the other division out of 7 teams. So the schedule's differential is considerable at times. So who does Virginia draw in the other division? You immediately look at Clemson and Florida State. Who has to play Clemson and Florida State, one or the other, or both, out of the Coastal Division? Well, not Virginia, and that weighs down the schedule. They've got Louisville, good team, fringe top 25 program this season, but they also have a date at Wake. Wake, one of the 10 worst teams in Power 5 football. So Virginia gets a bit of a break, missing Clemson and Florida State. They've got a marginal division that they play in, and they're probably still the worst team in the division, so they're looking up at the likes of Miami and North Carolina in particular. So that's Virginia's slate. A weak, pretty marginal division. Don't have to play Clemson and Florida State. They've got Wake, and they've got a decent Louisville team to tangle with. The Oregon game highlights the non-conference slate, but the other 3 games should be wins. Virginia with the 11th most difficult schedule in the ACC, number 54 in college football out of 67 Power 5 clubs. That's our take on Virginia's scheduling right here on Mark Rogers TV.